Good afternoon. I'm David Glasgow. I'm a middle school teacher in Pflugerville of history and Spanish, with 8 certifications in my subject. I grew up in Mexico and went to school there. And here in Texas, of course, I've been a bilingual teacher for many years. So I understand different points of view. I've taught the Alamo is not a simple tribal story of Mexicans versus Americans. It's a nuanced story of a fight between tyranny and freedom. In 1836, Tejanos and Texicans faced a stark, simple choice. As Mr. Mercer was telling us a little earlier, there was a choice between continuing to live under a corrupt, centralized military dictatorship of General Santa Anna. It was so repressive that 11 Mexican states rebelled. Texas was one of them. The other choice was Texans can fight for freedom, individual rights, and the right to decide one's own destiny. That's what we chose to do. The Alamo defenders were heroes in every sense of the word. It's a simple concept, it's a simple word, but it's also a simple truth. Their sacrifice made Texas free from people from all over the world. It took time and struggle, but that principle became the heroic heritage of all Texans of all ethnicities and all backgrounds. That's why I think we should keep the terms of civil, political, and religious freedom in the TEECs as they were brought about by the Texas Revolution. Texas is about our common heritage of civil, political, and religious freedom. It's about belonging to something so much bigger than ourselves. It's about the common founding story we all take pride in. It's about remembering the Alamo. Finally, Texas is really just a great story. If we take all the drama and heroism and life out of history, we're left with Arnold Toynbee's quotation, "History's just one damn thing after another." And who wants to learn that? So for all these reasons, I urge us to remember Texas history is heroic, must be taught that way, and has led to the civil, political, and religious freedom of us all today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Glasgow. And all Mr. To the teacher from the Texas history, who? You, sir? Clarification. I thought there were 2 other Mexican states were citizens of Mexico. You said there were 11 other Mexican states?
11 including Coahuila, Texas.
And that's right. Coahuila, Texas was one state.
Right.
That's
so
right.
Durango, Zacatecas, Yucatan. I mean, you can go down a list. There's a number.
They all revolted when Santa Anna declared
They all
itself
revolted late 35, early 36, and then I think there were 3 republics, the Republic of Yucatan and others by 1840, that had broken away and had to be
And that last question for you is that, were they all treated the same way? Were anybody who rebelled were all executed?
Texas was the only one that was successful, and yes, the rest were all treated very harshly, and part of it was because the civic guard had been disarmed. I mean, of course, we all remember that at Gonzales they tried to disarm
away all the weapons. And a question for Ms.
Coming. He reached out to me. We were on through email, and I was so impressed with your background and your interest and knowledge of history. And I said, "Can you come testify?" And you worked it out, and I thank you. I just want to ask you, if we don't keep heroic in there, what do you think the future of this would be?
That's a great question. First of all, thank you so much for reaching back so quickly and for the encouragement. It's been a delight to listen to you all. It's been a very interesting morning. That's a hard question. I mean, I think the best answer would be to say that the great thing about Texas is you don't say, "Gosh, I'm from North Dakota." Nothing's wrong with North Dakota, but it's like super America. I mean, it's Lexington, it's Concord, it's it's every struggle wrapped up with far fewer people. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I said, the great thing about Texas, it's sort of like Israel, because they did, back in those days, so much with so little, and faced impossible odds and succeeded. And again, everyone didn't have full freedom, full rights back in 1836. But once the principle of freedom is established, once it's ratified, once it's there, you can't gainsay it. You can't take it away. And on that, people in Texas and, of course, the United States with the Declaration of Independence have built on that. And we've gone from an Anglo-Saxon white culture to one that is inclusive of everyone with freedoms and rights like nowhere else in the world. And that's why people come here rather than us going elsewhere. So I think if you take away terms like heroic and freedom, we're just like anybody else. And that's not what Texas should be, in my opinion.